Hey, finance experts. Today we'll be looking at mutual funds and getting statistical proof that turnover ratio and yearly returns are correlated with one another. A mutual fund's turnover ratio expresses the percentage of a particular fund, its holdings that have been replaced during a previous year. The theory is that a higher turnover translates into lower net returns because it usually translates into higher relative cost to manage the fund. Okay? So what I'm saying is I believe that the higher the turnover, the less return you will get. So I pulled up some mutual funds here, and just to show you, this turnover is about 42%. That's relatively low, not compared to this one. This one shows 2%. I mean, we have one here that shows 153%. And again, we have one right here, 327%. That's extremely high compared to the rest. And then I have another one here, 25%. So what I went ahead and did was I pulled data for 30 different firms, mutual funds. Now to start things off, we're gathering information on 30 different funds and deciding on what we consider as the high and low for turnover ratio. Looking at just a handful of these, we can see that there are significant differences in some of these turnover ratios, which will of course make it easier to decipher what would be high and what would be low. And the average is about 57% after I ran it, but just for namesake, I'm just going to use anything above 80% is high. It doesn't really matter anyways. So I pulled 30 sets of data. The fund symbol in I don't have fund symbol, but I do have the numbers here. I have the turnover ratios in B and the 1 year return in C. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and run the regression to prove that the higher the turnover, the lower the return. Okay, so let's do a data analysis. We're going to run a regression line here. Now I'm going to use X. My X will be turnover, which will be my dependent variable. Oh, I'm sorry, independent variable. Okay. Kind of hard holding my phone and doing this. And my Y will be 1 year returns, which is my dependent variable. And we are including labels. So go ahead and hit OK. So looking at this data, we're looking at R squared, which is the measure of how well this fits the line. And by judging off of what we have here, it shows that it doesn't fit the line too well. Now looking at our coefficients here, it shows that it's not fitting the line very well. Going to the output, we see that the coefficient is negative. I'm sorry. It took forever for me to find that in my notes. Showing that there's a negative relationship with the turnover and returns. To see if there's any significance statistically, we'll look at using a rule of thumb of 1.65. We'll look over here at the stats, and of course it's negative 2.16 is below negative 1.65, of course. And then we look over here at the p-value, and that's also super low. So we do have significant proof here that the higher the turnover, the lower the return on your investment. So that being said, if I ever had a bundle of options that I wanted to, or a bundle of funds I was looking into, I would always go with the lower turnover as my option. Thank you.